Good evening to you. I'm meteorologist Meg Ryan. Tim Buckley is enjoying the holiday break, so you get me this evening. So happy that you are here joining me. So let's take a look, deep dive into the weather, and take a look at what has happened this week. Let's see if I can pull this up. I have to put there we go. So here's what happened this past week. So remember last Monday, that was that super cold day. That's where it was 11 degrees in the morning. And if you look, that's the only day where we saw temperatures below average. By Tuesday, we were at average, and then it's been above that from Wednesday all the way through Sunday. And I can tell you today, we are right at or just slightly below for today. Temperature-wise, we got down to the upper 20s this morning. By 9 a.m., we're back into the 30s, 40s by 10 a.m. And then, we made it up to 50 degrees this afternoon. Our average high is 51. So this morning, taking a look at the sunrise, clear skies for this morning, but here come the clouds. They built in the afternoon, especially into the evening, gave us a beautiful sunset. If you didn't get a chance to see it. Our official high today was 50 after a morning low of 26. Our average high is 51, and today was the first full day of winter. Yesterday was the winter solstice at 10:03 a.m., so this was our first full day. Look at that record high, 73 in 2000. What does that say? 13. I don't have my glasses on. So believe it or not, we're going to get close to that by Friday. And because the winter solstice was yesterday, our days are getting longer. I think today is only about 1 second, but we'll take basically whatever we can get. Right now in Greensboro, it is 46 degrees, a little dry, dew points at 13, but that's pretty typical for winter, and just a little bit of a wind out the south at around 7 miles per hour. Temperatures around the area, low in mid-40s with 40 in Reidsville, 43 in Walnut Cove, 46 in Winston-Salem, Greensboro, and Burlington, so right along I-40. High Point and Asheboro, you're both checking in at 42 with 45 in Lexington. And temperatures pretty close to where we were yesterday at this same time, about a degree or two cooler than where we were yesterday, but we're going to see some changes coming up for tomorrow. Not a lot of wind. We're going to see a change in wind for tomorrow and not just the temperature. So let's take a look at wind gusts. So in terms of sustained wind speeds, we're looking at 10 to 20 mile per hour winds tomorrow. In terms of wind gusts, watch them pick up. Here we are Tuesday, 9:30 in the morning. We're looking at wind gusts of 20 to 25 miles per hour. That continues into the afternoon, and you can see from some of those dark orange and red spots where some of the winds kick up even more. Of course, up in the mountains, it's really going to be breezy, about 32 mile per hour wind gusts. But notice by Wednesday, we're not looking at those 20, 25 mile per hour wind gusts. We're looking at 10, 15, pretty typical for us. So here's what you can expect overnight tonight. We've seen those clouds build in later this afternoon and this evening. Those clouds are with us overnight tonight and in the morning tomorrow. That also means temperatures are not going to cool down as much as they would without the cloud. So we're talking upper 30s for tomorrow. Taking a look at Futurecast, we can see those clouds in the overnight hours, and notice you can see a few dots of green. Those are some sprinkles that we might see, maybe a light rain shower, but it is few and far between, so don't expect a lot in the rain bucket from this. Most everybody is going to stay dry. Only a few lucky ones will get a little bit of sprinkles overnight tonight. And so we'll keep the clouds in the morning, but notice here it is Tuesday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There's no clouds, so we're looking at lots of sunshine for tomorrow afternoon. I don't think we're going to see the mid-60s for tomorrow. I think we're looking at right around 60, but Wednesday, absolutely. I do think we'll see the mid-60s, and that will continue into Thursday as well. So here is our setup. We have high pressure coming down from the north. As it does, that's going to set up a southerly flow. So that southerly flow is going to pump in that warm, humid air off the Gulf of Mexico, and that's where we're going to see that increase in temperature each and every day. until finally our warmest day is Friday, when we'll see highs of around 70 degrees. So we saw the sunshine for most of the day today. Now we're seeing those clouds build in, and it's coming in from the northwest. So we'll do a little travel weather because today and tomorrow are some of our biggest travel days. You can see some rain down around Alabama, Mississippi, but if you're going to Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, they are all looking dry. Most of the East Coast looking okay overall. We do have a few areas of some wintry weather. That's through portions of Pennsylvania, West Virginia, getting into Maryland as well. So if you're heading up 81, heading up to New England, you'll have to go through some of this. But New England itself is looking for the most part okay, with a few snow showers up near Vermont and New Hampshire as well. Great Lakes also seeing some snow showers, but I've seen definitely worse in previous years. And out to the west, California, though, they're seeing the biggest weather issues in terms of travel, with that atmospheric river bringing in some heavy rain to California, flooding in some areas out there. So if you're flying out to the West Coast, you could see some flight delays because of the weather conditions out there. Temperature-wise, the middle portion of the United States is seeing a big warm-up. In fact, they could be seeing some record warmth over the next couple of days. For us, though, we're still a little bit in that down, a little bit of those cooler temperatures. But for tomorrow, our forecast high temperatures, we're in the green. We're in that mild air, right around 60 degrees. Up in New England, they'll be are pretty close to freezing, about 40 degrees, a little bit cooler, but warm across the deep south, with New Orleans at 78. Atlanta is looking at a high of 68 for tomorrow. But the middle portion of the U.S. is where they are going to see that record warmth. And here's one of the reasons why. So if you look at the upper level pattern, watch the orange. Notice how we get that ridge really develop out to the west. That's going to help to bring in that much warmer air. But as you look out, this is Monday. Notice we have that dip in the jet stream. That is what's going to bring us some cooler air coming up for Monday. But before that, we're going to warm up. Today we saw a high of 50, our average high is 51, and we have that slow warm up as we head towards Friday. Not much in way of rain. We have that 20% chance just for some sprinkles tonight, but otherwise it's a pretty dry forecast. So let's look at your forecast for tonight. We're going to increase the clouds, keeping the chance of sprinkles, low temperatures of around 37. For tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, and we're looking at a high of 59. Here's your 7-day forecast. Christmas Eve, 44 in the morning, 65 in the afternoon. Then for Thursday, Christmas morning, 45 degrees, 67 in the afternoon. And by Friday, we're looking at 70 degrees. So thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you learned a little bit, and I hope you're better prepared for the week. Merry Christmas, everyone, and Happy Hanukkah.